Welcome to the Red Vault. In this video, we will try to answer the question, is this tiny preamp still relevant in 2025? Enjoyed the introduction track. Actually, it's an original song from my band Death Roll, which will be available on May 16. And if you want to give it a go or support us, you can find the necessary links down below. Thanks for it. And now let's continue with the Mooer 005 micro preamp. And before going any further, I want to mention I have a collaboration with Mooer Audio, but not for this video, not for this device. I just purchased this preamp and I wanted to give it a go. So this video isn't sponsored, there is no advertisement, and I have no one to support this besides you, your likes and your subscriptions. Hope you get the message. Now let's continue. This preamp is a small copy of the EVH 5153 and it has two different channels which are blue and red. Also we have bass, mid, treble controls with volume and gain, and we can activate the pedal from the switch. And with this small flashy dot, we can either change the channel, or when we push it longer, we can activate or deactivate the cabinet. So besides these two different channels, this device delivers a cabinet section too. So first let me demonstrate it and then let's check it more. And we are on the red channel and the settings are at noon. Also we have a booster which is Maxon Audio 808 with the traditional settings. And now let's close the built-in impulse response and then I will open up a third-party impulse response from Bogran Audio, and I'm using the Net IR from STL Tones, which is a free plugin. And also I'm blending two different impulse responses because I like the sound of it. And now let's close the built-in impulse response. Here's the sound of the preamp without the cab. And now let's open up the Net IR. I think with a third-party impulse response, the preamp sounds way more dynamic and realistic. Also, I know this preamp is on the market for nearly over a decade, so I know if you want to hear the preamp with the built-in impulse response, you can check lots of different videos on YouTube, because I will continue with this impulse response to demonstrate the better side, the potential of the preamp. And now let's start from the blue channel. The settings are at noon, we are on the blue channel, the OD is off, and there's the Bogran Audio impulse response. The guitar is Warmode Telecaster with an older or mahogany body, I can't remember. Also we have a Seymour Duncan JB and 59, and let's hear it. And let's open up the booster. And now let's open up some gain because we need it. not chugging. Maybe while the color of the channel is blue, it kinda acts like the green channel of the 5150, because I know the red channel sounds gnarly and you just heard it. But this thing acts like a crunch channel or even a pushed clean channel. I can't say it's a high gain channel while it sounds like this with this gain setting. Now let's try to get a good clean sound from this thing. I think it's not the greatest clean channel that I ever heard, but if you want to use it on stage, it delivers nice clean tones for the clean passage of metal tracks. So it's useful, it's not the best, but it's totally useful. And now let's some chugging tones, because that's why all we are here. And let's close the booster first to hear the actual sound of the preamp. And let's switch back to the bridge pickup. Since we don't have a presence knob, I think we need to open up the treble knob to get a hot top end. But the mid knob adds a certain boxiness to the sound. Because of it, I will keep it under the noon position. If you ever played with an actual EVH 5150, you probably knew the effect of the resonance and the bass knob, but since we don't have a resonance knob as well, we need to adjust the bass knob of this thing carefully. And also, I think the level of the bass knob of the preamp is directly related to your own monitoring device, because I think this knob doesn't act like a sound character changer. Instead of it, it acts like a low cut. Because of it, a certain sound might sound too hollow or too boomy on other platforms. Let's check it. I think right now the preamp sounds great, especially the low end of the preamp sounds great with my Yamaha HS7s, but if you think otherwise, please mention it in the comment section. It will be helpful for the other users. And now let's continue with the red channel while the booster is on. It sounds fantastic. And now let's gear up and let's continue with an evil guitar instead of this dead rock guitar to get more brutal tone. And now we are on my custom built Ave Guitars Red V, which has a Corina body, maple neck, ebony fretboard, steel frets, Kehler bridge, Seymour Duncan JB. Also the tuning is C standard. And now let's continue with this beauty. It sounds hollow and it starts to sound boomy. I think we are good at tube. And also, since the tuning is lower, I think we need a little bit more treble. But I think we can decrease the gain because the signal of this pickup is quite hotter compared to this Warmouth. After this run, let's switch back to the stock impulse response one more to hear the differences again. I think it sounds too scoop, but we can open up some mids, but also it sounds artificially pushed. I don't know how can I explain it, but doesn't sound like a real cabinet. Instead of it, I would use an impulse response. There's a sound going around. No matter what, there it is. I think we need an additional impulse response section to use this preamp properly, especially if we will use it at home. But also I know there are lots of great free impulse responses with great free impulse response loaders, just like the NetIR from STL Tones. So simply, if you will purchase this device for maybe 50 bucks or 100 bucks, you can get some nice 5150 tones instead of it spending 2.5 grand for the actual thing. Also, I put this amplifier for a reason instead of a childish flex. And now we will compare the Mooer 005 with the actual EVH 5150. It's the Stealth EL34 version of the 5153 line. And for the comparison, I will reamp the same device with both of these devices. Also, I will use the same impulse response. Also, this comparison will be brief. You will just hear the boosted sound of these devices through the same impulse response. But if you think an in-depth comparison would be nice, you can mention it in the comment section and I will try to do the best I can. Now let's continue with the comparison. Let's hear it one more without the mix and while the guitars are isolated. Welcome back, hope you enjoyed the comparison. Now let me share my thoughts. I think the true winner of the comparison is this Mooer preamp, but please don't get me wrong, the EVH 5150 sounds as legendary as it can be, and I heard some artificial characteristics and some bottlenecks over here and there in the sound of this micro preamp, but also we need to remember it, we can purchase maybe 50 units with the cost of this 100 watt head. And you might remember a few weeks ago I compared my 5150 EVH with the plugins, and for me, with my personal experiences, this thing sounds way more organic compared to a plugin. So simply, if you are looking for a cheap yet organic 5150 sound, this small device still can be a good alternative for you. Still, you need an actual booster and an adapter or a power supply which will cost you, but even with a booster and this device you can get some nice tones on the stage, because as you know, IRs are static elements which applies a certain certain EQ to your sound, and while you can get better tones with third-party impulse responses, you can make your sound better with some EQ adjustments on the desk of the front of house. And also a small information to support this situation: as far as I know, Cradle of Filth use these devices on the stage. As a conclusion, I think this device is one of the most cheapest and organic amplifier alternative on the market on 2025. And that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed the content, and if you enjoyed, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe the channel, and please don't forget to leave your opinions in the comment section. Till the next video, see ya.